Hey everyone, I'm Margaret Joy. Welcome back to my channel. Put on headphones. Hey everybody, I'm Margaret Joy and I'm an artist. Okay, let's try it again. Hey everybody, I'm Margaret Joy. I'm eating my candy. Oh, well, let me eat my candy. Priorities. Okay. Hey everybody, my name is Margaret Joy. I'm a full-time artist. Oh, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be packing up a wholesale order for my longest standing wholesale account in New York City. This shop has 4 locations and she orders a ton of cards about every other month. So I just got a new order. I'm gonna look through what I have on hand, take note of what I need to order, and then I'm gonna start packing up the product. And there's all these little bugs flying around that in Charleston, it's basically bug season now. So if you leave your door open for 0.5 seconds, a bug will come in and we're constantly like getting rid of them. So sorry if bugs are flying around. So I'll go through my inventory, see what I have right now, what I need, and then I'll start packing the order for what I do have. It's not like a turnkey process. It's a little bit clunky. And because we just moved here a month ago, this is my studio. Welcome to the apartment kitchen countertop. Please ignore all of the mess over here. It's definitely a hot mess, but we're just working with what we got. And this morning I just finished packing up some Mother's Day floral mini paintings that I just finished packing up and sending out. So now I'm switching gears to wholesale stuff, and I wanted to share my story of how I got it started in wholesale. So I'm just going to be working and chatting, and you're just going to hang out with me. So my first job, full-time job in New York City, was at this shop, Pink Olive. I started working in their Williams. Actually, I don't think I ever worked at the Williamsburg store. I interviewed at the Williamsburg store and I got hired. I didn't know they had several locations. They had a location in the West Village where I worked a lot, and then a store in the East Village, which I ended up managing after a couple of years. And they have a store in the Hudson Valley in Cold Spring, which I went to, I think, twice. Gorgeous up there. I actually painted a painting of the Hudson Valley for Pink Olive. It's actually right here. This is the Hudson Valley. People really like this one, the colors and the reflection of the water and the just capturing the Hudson Valley in my way. But I started working at this store. I found it because I was looking through a lot of their inventory online, and they carry a lot of brands that I had followed and loved. Sorry, crinkly sleeves. Brands that I followed and loved and that I wanted to be like. I wanted to sell my product in stores. I didn't know how to get started. I didn't have any professional training, which really I think was my biggest hang up in all of my years, is my mental challenge of getting over the fact that I don't know what I'm doing or I didn't professionally get trained. I feel like I've overcome that a lot, where I'm like, oh, I got this and I know what I'm doing. Even if I don't know what I'm doing, I feel like everything is figure outable. And I'm less intimidated by the imposter syndrome of I don't know what I'm doing all the time. But then I felt like, I liked to paint. I was figuring out my style. I was following different artists that encouraged me to just keep painting and developing your signature style, which I feel like I now have, which is exciting. But then I was just kind of getting started, it felt like, in a way. Even though I had been painting for years, I never really made a lot of products. I had sold some originals. I had a couple of different prints, but I never fully jumped into that. So it was exciting to be working in a shop with all these products and these brands that sold greeting cards and prints. And I was on the receiving end, receiving the inventory, adding it into our database, communicating with these small shops and these vendors. And I was just really inspired by the whole process, because I was like, wow, all these people can do it. I definitely think I have what it takes to do it. And although, maybe I stayed at pink olive, a little too long. As far as like room, well, I guess I can't really say that. I think however long I was there was the right time. But I learned just a lot, and I was like a little sponge. I soaked up a lot of information. I enjoyed what I did. I enjoyed selling artwork and connecting with people. People often asked if the shop was mine when they'd come in and shop, because I just really owned it, and I loved working with a product and representing the brands and all those things. So it was really special. To this day, I look back and just feel grateful for the opportunity I had to work there and all that I learned. I loved learning from Grace, and, getting to soak up and learn how to capture content for the social media and handle requests, PR requests, and all the fun stuff. So it was there that my curiosity was piqued and I wanted to sell. So I started, painting more and made some prints. It was a couple years into working there that I reached out to Grace and asked if she would take a chance on my artwork and selling it in the store. So I think it was like 3 SKUs maybe. It was this print, the Empire State. It was this Top of the Rock, which I think this is a misprint. I think normally there's a little border on here, but Top of the Rocks, this not quite it. It's just a little more scanned out. And then it was this Amalfi Coast. Those are the 3 prints. And I think there was actually one more. I don't think I have it in stock right now, but the World Trade Center print. So I had a few New York themed prints. And she encouraged me to make some greeting cards out of a couple of my prints, and we gave it a shot, and to my surprise, they sold super well. It was so encouraging to get those wholesale checks at the end of the month. I was a consignment vendor, so I still am a consignment vendor, but at the end of the month, it was so fun and rewarding to get those wholesale checks of like, oh my gosh, people actually like my stuff and are buying it, and like I'm selling a lot. It felt like a lot to me at the time, and it was so encouraging. And so since then, I've really just continued to develop my SKUs and my products, and have continued to sell more and more and more and more there. It has been my primary consistent form of income for my business, and it has solely paid for my art studios that I've had. I had an art studio in Brooklyn for, I think it was 7 or 8 months before I got married, got rid of it. And then we had a studio in Hoboken as well, and it paid for the majority of that. Well, we had that for 4 months. So it really was like, in a way, the launching pad for what I would say was like my official launch into like taking my business seriously. Up until that point, I had done art a long time. I've been selling stuff since I was 14, where I sold my first collection of work at this cafe in Washington State where I grew up. But I've always just kind of done it on the side, and it was not ever something that I thought seriously, like I'm an artist and I could confidently say that. So this leap into the wholesale world was like the first time that I felt like I could say, oh, I'm an artist. My work is selling in shops in New York City. And it was like the most biggest boost of confidence that I experienced in, I guess, my journey, that really spurred me on to want to keep creating and to even tell people that I'm an artist. Like, yeah, I'm an artist. That's who I am. It doesn't always come super easily for me to say that, because, it's a lot to gain the confidence in what you do when you feel like you've done it on the side and that you're not a real professional, and be like, oh, actually I'm selling stuff to people all over the world because tourists come and buy my stuff. And so it was pretty cool. And I love that I continue to sell with her now. I don't know the time frame when I first started. I feel like I could probably look back on my emails. But here I am in 2025, still selling with her. Now I'm relocated, and it's been such a great and fun relationship. Let's see. Oh, I forgot I also sold the Wild Lily print as one of my first ones. Okay, so this was in November of 2019 that I started selling at Pink Olive. So it's been 5 years, about 5 years. Wait, November 2019, 5.5 years. That's so cool. It's been 5.5 years since I started selling. I feel so proud. And I think so fun. I'm sorry, I'm getting down this rabbit trail. Okay, just for fun, since I have this information here, my first sales report, December of 2019, was I sold a total of 2 units and I got $45. The next month I sold 7 units and got $157.50. So yeah, it's just kind of grown from there. And that's my humble beginning with that. And Grace has been a big encourager for me throughout the years and has commissioned me to do a couple different pieces, and given me good ideas and encouraged me to expand to my greeting cards, which are what sells the most now. And so I'm just grateful for people like Grace who, believe in artists and small businesses and gave me a chance to expand my reach. So now I'm going through from the beginning. Sorry, that's very loud. From the beginning, when I was in Spokane, I actually found a supplier that I've been using ever since. I worked for an event planner in Spokane, Jamie Johnson. She was fantastic. I learned a lot from her, and I loved working for her. She was my first gig in the event world, which I have now had tons of experience in the event world here in New York and beyond. But her business partner did all the graphic design stuff and used this company that I now use still to print all my greeting cards and prints in bulk. They're based in Idaho. I think they have a warehouse also in New Jersey, not close to where I lived in New Jersey, so I still ordered it online. I didn't pick it up. But I've ordered from them ever since, just because I guess I started that relationship and I thought the price point was good. And the quality really was fantastic, and I've just used them ever since. I would love to find local suppliers, but I never really found one in New York that I felt good about. And it's I get wanting to find local printers, but now I just moved. So it's good thing I didn't go to too much hassle really looking for a local supplier, because now I'm not even there to use them. So I'm kind of glad I didn't go to all the fuss. So now I have over 30 greeting card styles. I have a bajillion prints. I only carry a handful of prints at Pink Olive, but greeting cards is primarily what I sell. And I'd love to expand my wholesale accounts to other shops. When you travel, it's every single town has a small gift shop that carries greeting cards, or a general store that carries greeting cards. And it's man, every single town in the US, probably every city in the world has a little greeting card shop. And I think that's so fun and cool, and I'd love to expand. But I find it challenging because there's so many things that I have my hand in right now, and I'm sure every creative entrepreneur feels this way, where it's okay, what do I focus on when and how? So I'm not really focused on that outreach to land more wholesale accounts at the moment. I would love to get some more accounts though. because this one has been such a blessing for my business and for like consistent income. So it'd be great. And I really don't sell a lot of cards outside of my wholesale accounts. I primarily sell prints and originals and frame prints. And so, yeah, this is where my cards get a shine, which is fun. Let's see. This one's one of my newest ones. This is kind of like a funkier style. It says Birthday Girl on the Move. I don't really know if you can see this. Wait, let me come closer. Birthday Girl on the Move. I hadn't ever really done something funky like this with a person in the colored background. Thought it was fun. This is also a newer one. Let's get this part T started. Super cute. I painted these little mugs when I was, freezing cold in Hoboken in the winter. So, turned it into a card. Thought it was cute. This was a card I made. This was a commissioned piece of the East Village by Grace, and I painted her a large scale watercolor. It was 22 by 30 in a nice thick matte, and it's hanging in her East Village apartment. But I turned it into prints for her to resell at her grand reopening in the East Village. Funny, she actually shut down her East Village shop. This was after I was not working there anymore. She shut down her East Village shop and moved to Arkansas, opened another Pink Olive in Little Rock, and then this past month reopened her shop in the East Village at the exact same location that it used to be, probably just redone and more beautiful than it was before. And so she commissioned me to do this piece, and then it was part of the grand opening prints, which I think is just so fun. And this was the largest commission piece that I had ever done, which was also very cool. It just feels like Grace reappeared and was like, not reappeared like she hasn't been around, but again, commissioned me to do the largest commission piece that I've ever done. And that was cool. And I feel like I'm going to launch into more of that direction this year. So again, very grateful. I have so many fun cards. I feel like I could tell stories about them. This piece here, maybe I won't come out of the frame this time. Whoa, cards are flying. This one here is really special. It says, thinking about you. Also, greeting cards are like an interesting product because I'm not like a graphic designer. I don't consider myself a graphic designer. I'm an artist. I do watercolor. I love hand painting cards. I hate digital processes and art and using the platforms that I need to and all of the things, programs and Photoshop. And I have learned, because you need to learn those skill sets if you're trying to make it nowadays. But I loathe them. So when it came to greeting cards, the first ones I did were just no words, no text, no copy, inside or outside. But then I was like, okay, I need to expand and like actually put copy on these greeting cards for them to probably sell to the scale that I'd want them to sell, knowing that people want to buy cards for certain occasions. And yes, blank cards can be used for all the assortment, but like you need to like tell the person what they're wanting to say. Like they don't even really realize that. They're like, oh, I want to say like, this friend of mine's going through a hard time, and like you don't really know what to say sometimes when people are going through hard times and you don't even know what to send or how to communicate. So like when you go to a store and you see some card that says just thinking about you, you're like, yes, that's perfect. I'm going to send that one. It's a little easier than just seeing like a blank card with no words on it. It's like, oh, this card's communicating what I want to say without me having to come up with the words to say. So I was like, I need to put copy on my cards. Also, having worked at Pink Olive and seeing all the cards that sell and our best sellers and the things that resonate with customers, it gave me like an insight into what I should do as well. So seeing, people do resonate and want copy to be on the cards. So I had to start learning how to do that and incorporating that with my artwork, which is new. And I still feel like I'm learning how to do that best. Like I don't have any copy on my art prints. And I've thought about it because I think those do typically sell pretty well, but I'm not sure I want to go in that direction because that's like not my strongest suit. I'm doing a lot of talking and not really any packing, but I wanted to tell you the story of how I got started and So maybe I'm going to focus on packing a few things and share some thoughts maybe as they creep up as I'm packing. I'm also not very good at multitasking when it comes to talking and doing work like this. So I'm going to pack some things. And we're going to start with the Birthday Girl on the Move because that's the one that I have out. I'm going to find that in here. Just kidding. I'm starting with a different card because I can't seem to find that one, which means I might be out. You Make Me Feel Like Dancing card. It's got the cute little disco ball. And I'm pretty sure she's probably going to get it in at least one of her 3 or 4 stores. Okay. You Make Me Feel card. 6 of these. 4, 5, 6. That's for the West Village. I guess only 6 of these. To Another Year. This card's cute. It says To Another Year of Adventure, and it's a card of the poppy field painting that I did. East Village, 6. West Village, 6. Cold Spring, 6. This card's interesting because it's actually can be used for so many occasions. I made this for New Year's. 4, 5, 6. I made this for New Year's. Came out around the same time that I put Christmas cards out because New Year's is right after Christmas. And I'm sure it's used all year round because it is kind of multi-purpose. Like Another Year of Adventure definitely falls under like the birthday category as well. And actually, that's also something I learned when I worked there, is that certain cards can fall into the multi-purpose category. And it's kind of great when a card does that. So like for Valentine's Day, there's a lot of cards that we put as in the Valentine's section, even though it wasn't like a Valentine's card, because it's just like a general love card and it can totally work for that occasion. So this card kind of is that way. And I love that. I've never done anything with this painting of mine. I never really made prints of it. I've not sold the original yet either. So these cards are just the way it's being represented out in the world right now. But people seem to like it enough. It's always funny when you paint something and share it on the good old social media, and then somebody goes, oh my gosh, you should totally make this into a print and I would buy it. And then you're like, great, you make it into a print. You tell them that you made it into a print and then they don't buy it. And you're like, I literally made this into a print because you told me to and that you would buy it. And I found it as an opportunity to try out this print and style. So that's what happened with this painting. I painted it. Somebody was like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Totally make it into a print. And then I did. And then that exactly happened. Maybe I'll 5 years later, go back to that person and let them know like, hey, just so you know, this original painting is still available if you'd like it. So funny. Yeah, I like this card. So stuff them with envelopes. The company that I source my cards from, they have the option of getting envelopes with your cards. So that's what I always do. I know I'm going to try to organize all my cards in stacks. So like this is for one location, this is for another, this is for another. But I feel like I have limited space and it's a little bit overwhelming to try to think of how I'm going to do that on this counter. So I'm just going to stuff them all and then I'll just go through and organize them once I'm done, because that seems like a little bit of a better plan. And then I put them in these little silo bags. Is that what you say, silo? I don't know. I'm probably going to need some more cards. So the last order that I did for Pink Olive was like 500 cards between all the stores, which is insane. 500. I don't think this order is quite as big, but still, I just feel so crazy proud. Even just packing up this many. I'm like, I cannot believe that this amount of cards and product gets actually sold through. It's just so cool. So if you know of a shop in your town that you'd like to see my greeting cards in so that you can purchase them for all of your events in life, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, birthdays, celebrations, anniversaries, sympathy cards, random whatever cards, please email me or comment below the name of the shop. And if you know like the owner or you have any kind of relationship with them, like maybe their name, you should probably just email me at margaretjoyart@gmail.com. And I would love to reach out to them and maybe even design a custom print or greeting card for your city or location that you live in. I would love to expand to other cities and wholesale and have my cards available in other places. You know what's my least? I have this thing with cards at stores like CVS because they're overpriced for what they are. You pay $7 for this card that you don't actually like that much because the illustrations are bad. And you forgot that it was your anniversary or, something like that. I really hope that you didn't because, good luck coming back from that one. But actually, that's not true. Some people are not sentimental about the dates. Actually, true story. My parents both forgot it was their anniversary a handful of years ago until it was a couple days past their anniversary. And they were like, oh my word, our anniversary is 2 days ago. And we were like, you guys. All that to say, they're not very sentimental about the actual dates of things. They do love each other and they have an amazing marriage and our family is amazing. But it's just all that to say. It's okay maybe for you if you forgot your anniversary date. Anyways, say you forgot it was your anniversary day or somebody's birthday and you're like, it's today and I'm actually going to see that person later and I forgot to go out and get a card. So you go to the only place that you know to buy a card, maybe that's not completely out of the way, and it's a CVS store and you spend $7-8 on a card that you don't even like, that's not even very cute and doesn't really communicate the sentiment that you want to. I just don't like that. So if you're ever out in the world and you come across a cute card shop, I encourage you to just buy a couple of cards that you actually like the art of, you actually like the illustrations, because A, it supports artists like me who have decided to pursue their dream and go all in on their art. And second of all, you're giving like a cute little mini piece of artwork to somebody that actually has like meaning and that you actually think they would enjoy and like. And sometimes greeting cards, when they're really good and they feel like a piece of art, people can frame them as mini prints. Mini prints are like really in right now with like the big matting and a cute frame. People can get creative with that. So these can literally be like little pieces of artwork. Don't buy a crappy card. Okay, I'm done. I won't talk about that anymore. But to circle back around, that's why I want my cards to be in other places, because I think that people would enjoy receiving them. Those little bugs that I said flying around. So one thing I do like about wholesale orders, it's a little bit brainless, and I can tend to get really in my head with all of my art business endeavors and probably overanalyze every little thing and overanalyze the emails that didn't get back from businesses I reached out to, or art that I didn't sell to the person I wanted to sell it to, whatever, all the things. Things like moving to a different state and having to figure out how to reestablish your business in a state and the taxes and all that stuff makes my stomach turn, because it just don't want to do the wrong things and it feels overwhelming, and finding the right person or accountant to help you in a new state is overwhelming because I don't really have a relationship with anybody. If you know of a great accountant in South Carolina that's affordable or works with small artists, please let me know. But the thing about packing wholesale orders is that it's a little bit brainless, where I can kind of just stand here or sit here and just enjoy packing up my art and do the same thing over and over without having to put too much thought into it. So I appreciate the once every other month day that I put these together. One more of these cards, and then I'll pack up the other one. Hopefully this isn't too loud. I know it's like a little bit of an obnoxious sound in person, but hopefully my microphone's far enough away that you can't actually hear it. Okay, so I packed up those. Fun fun. I have this running joke, not even it's a running joke, it's just the reality that I say fun 100 times a day about everything. So that task that I just did, I don't know why I use the word fun, but here we are. Okay, let's see what card I have next. With moving, I have lots of random cards in random places, not linked up to their matches, which is a little bit annoying. Let's see. You go, girl. Oh, I found Birthday Girl on the Move. Perfect. Let's get this one packed up. Fun. This is one of my newer styles. And it's great to see that it's selling so well. And it kind of does confirm my theory that I need to make more birthday cards. I think I just released 2 birthday cards that actually say like birthday on it. And like I said, I think cards sell well when they're actually, you know, for a certain occasion. So I just designed these 2 because I was like, I don't actually have any cards that actually say birthday. And they are doing well. You know, 6 per store. And then the stuff that does really well is like city themed designs. So like all my New York stuff does super well. I sell lots of sets of cards and individual cards. There is something interesting about doing all blank cards. It's a great opportunity to sell sets of cards if you have cards that don't have copy on them. So in the mix of your greeting cards, it is wise to have an assortment of copy and also blank, because with copy, like you're not going to buy a pack of 6 of these Birthday Girl on the Move cards, most likely. So brands don't really sell sets of cards like this. These are more individuals, where like I have a lot of styles that are not cards that have copy, and I sell those in sets, and those do well. The only time that cards with copy do well are like thank you cards. Obviously most people buy thank you cards in sets because they can use them for all sorts of things. And then Christmas cards also can be sold in sets pretty well. I had a really, really fun Christmas season this past year, and I sold a lot of cards. They sold out so fast. She ordered a second run of them, and yeah, just grateful. It's really fun that was my first year actually doing like a real Christmas collection of cards, and it's exciting. These little staticky protections for like the sticky strip get so staticky, like they're all sticking to my legs right now. It's really funny. Oh, this countertop, working at this countertop is actually so nice. I really love my standing desk. I got a standing desk when we got a studio in Hoboken. And actually the desk I had at my Brooklyn part was also like standing height. I just had like an awkward, uncomfortable stool I sat at all the time. But I have a standing desk where I can like raise it and lower it. And it's in our storage unit right now. But for these kinds of tasks, I prefer to stand up because I feel like I'm moving around a little bit more. And it's just easier, and I don't know, I just prefer standing up. So this countertop is kind of perfect because it's letting me do the same thing. And it's like fairly large. I can organize things pretty well. Now, I did a pop-up last weekend at an ice cream shop, and last minute decided to pack greeting cards for the setup at the table. And I'm so glad I did, because what I'm learning is that it's important to have several tiers. I already knew this, but it's important as an artist to have several tiers of price points for your work, so that you can cater to a large audience of people. So say somebody sees an original of yours and they love it, but they cannot afford original. You can offer them a print. Say another scenario, someone's in a shop like Pink Olive and they love this, you know, this print of mine, and they can't really afford $45 or $30 right now, but they really love it so much they can buy a greeting card of mine. Or even if they can afford a $6.50 greeting card, they can buy a sticker of mine. So having these different price points is like so wise to diversify yourself that way so that you can serve your customers and clients and audience and collectors in ways, in many different ways where it's never like out of reach for somebody. So that's why I have all those products. And so I did end up, I wasn't going to bring them because it was just a little bit last minute. I hadn't packed them up, but I last minute was like, I really think I need to get an assortment. And I'm glad I did because I sold a bunch of cards and it helps. Gives people that were waiting for me to do the little free paintings that I was doing live. It gave them more things to look at. And then like some lady bought a couple prints and like 3 cards, and it just increases your sales. So that was Birthday Girl Move. Perfect. Let's do the little frog because I have 5 of them packed up here. This card's so cute. It's a little party animal. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love my party animals so much. Here we go. The last time I ordered a lot of product, a lot of greeting cards. So I really don't think I'll have to order too many more styles. I have a lot in stock right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, I forgot to count. We're going to do the party card next because I've got, I think, that card in multiple stores. I've got these little things staticking to my legs. A little bit chaotic. Okay, so let's get this party started card. How many do we need? I need 6, 12. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I was getting on here to order some more cards. I think I'll see how many more I need before I order some, because I might need some more products. If you're just getting started out, for anyone that's maybe an artist or looking to start doing cards for wholesale, I cannot recommend starting a SKU number for your products at the beginning and just coming up with the way you want to do it and sticking to that. I kind of had that going. I had my own little way of doing it. And then when I got married, my husband got me onto Notion, which has organized my whole life and business. It is amazing. And we ended up changing our SKU number process. So it's a little annoying for accounts if you already have it, but most people can go in and update the SKU number in their system. So basically, it's worth updating and keeping consistent. And usually for helping stores not have discrepancies in the inventory, printing it on the back of your card. I'll show you. Like this is GC greeting card 170. So printing it on the back of your card like this is what is the best. This weekend is my husband's birthday. Trying to figure out what I want to get him. And I'm a little behind because tomorrow is already Thursday. I have some ideas. It's just a matter of whether I can find them in town or not. So wish me luck. But we are going to this really cool restaurant, a seafood restaurant called Chubby Fish in Charleston. It's apparently like this whole thing where like you have to line up an hour before they open in order to get a table reservation. So we're going to go and do the whole experience and eat some good seafood. See where the night takes us. It'll be fun. It's kind of fun being in a new city and getting to try new places and experiences for special occasion. Okay, these party cards are done. Let's see what's next. Party started. Check. When I get this order, she normally emails it to me. And then I copy the order and put it into a Notion task and make it into a checklist so I can easily go through and check off once I have got the cards and packed them. So it makes it super easy. Empire State set, Top of the Rock set, top 2. Let's see what card I got in here. I've got this other disco card, Celebrate Good Times. Do we need this card? Maybe not. Six for the West Village. Just 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so sorry, I was organizing cards. All the cards that I've packed up so far, I'm pulling out a couple of the styles for a pop-up that we're going to do later this week. Basically just want to have a couple of cards from each style that I can sell and have available. Okay, I showed you this card earlier in this video, just thinking about you, and then I got sidetracked talking about something else. But this card is so unique as far as like the illustration style from all my other ones, but it's very special in that I painted this from a photograph of my grandpa's. He was an incredible photographer. He did a lot in his life, but I painted it from a photograph of his, and so it's just very special. I don't really know exactly where he shot this one, and there was like no notes on the back of it. So I don't know exactly where he shot this. It could have been in many different places that he lived, but I still just love it so much, and it feels very like peaceful and like it was a perfect sentiment for like a sympathy card or I'm thinking about you. Okay, we need 6 of those. 12. Just 12. Well, I'm glad you joined me today for my wholesale chats and life and all the things we covered. Again, if you have a cute card shop in your neighborhood, in your city that you would like to see my greeting cards in so you don't have to buy your cards at CVS anymore, drop them below, shoot me an email. Would love to work with them and design something custom for them. Maybe as a fun lunch or something like that. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.